Coming up on Hawk TV, we take a look at ACDEC season, a science teacher's recognition, and girls soccer push for a playoff spot. This is Hawk TV for Thursday, March 11th. Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Ellery Lyles. The ACDEC decathlon team ended its season by winning regionals for the first time in school history. Elisa Young got to take a look into what their season was like and what they see for the future.
With the ACDEC decathlon season coming to an end, the team can now look back on the season. Due to malfunctions during the regional competition, the team's first win was nullified and they were forced to compete at state and come out with the highest score of any school in the region to become regional champions. Senior Sammy Kwan says that this was disappointing to have the team's hard work not count.
I was very shocked, but I also felt really bad for everyone else because we tried so hard for that day. You know, the day before we were on the meeting until 12 a.m. We were going through the facts, and our coaches were rooting us on the most too. They were really wanting us to be having fun and encouraging us. So as soon as I heard that, I think my mind just went blank, and I was like, what do we do? What do we do? I started panicking, and I felt a little sad that all of this went to nothing.
Even though the first win didn't count, the team scored high enough at state to become the first Hebron team to win regionals. Assistant coach Travis Zuber says to get a win at regionals is a big accomplishment.
To come in second, third, and fourth year after year, and just to see those teams get to walk up on the stage and celebrate, and I desperately wanted that for my kids and for our team, and to actually finally hit it and get there and to accomplish it, and not only to accomplish it once, but to accomplish it twice because of the way that technology failed us at regionals and we had to redo the test at state. Was extremely humbling, and I was very proud.
After being the first team to win regionals for Hebron, Kwan says that this achievement can set goals for future years to go even further.
It shows that, Hebron isn't just capped at a certain level that we've always been reaching. We can go even further, maybe even winning state, going to nationals, winning nationals. I think it lays out some stepping stones for future teams to follow and learn that, we can get there. It's not impossible as long as we all put our all into it. We can go even further than what previous teams did.
Although having to redo the competition was unexpected, it brought motivation to the team. Kwan and sophomore Hayden Wynn say that the redo allowed them another chance to prove they deserved the win.
A lot of us may have had some regrets from the first competition, but because we were able to have another chance, that silver lining was that we would be able to study even more.
I think it will sort of set a precedent for how well we can do. Because going into regionals for the first time, for my first time, it was sort of intimidating, I guess, that, we had to strive to be at least the same as last year. However, with the new precedent of trying to get number one, I think it more motivates people to continue working and continue reaching for that number one spot. And so, myself included, will continue to work harder.
Despite technical difficulties, the team was able to win not only once, but twice. Head coach Donna Friend says that the malfunctions during the competition gave the team an opportunity to show that they could win.
The idea of going one more round was not unusual for them. The added layer this time was you won regions, but not officially. So if you want to really have it, it's yours, because we already know you can do it. We have the proof that you can do it. We can see it right here in the spreadsheet. So now you have to actually make it official. And so that's the thing that we kept pushing of this is your year to be an unprecedented team. In an unprecedented year, be an unprecedented team of the first region champs. And they did it.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Elisa Young.
Thanks, Elisa. The theme for the next ACDEC decathlon competition will be water. If you're interested in joining next year, stop by room 1600 or 2655 for more information. In honor of Women's History Month, we asked students which women from history inspired them and why.
If I had to choose an important woman from history, I'd probably choose Frida Kahlo. She was a famous artist, and she's kind of responsible for just paving her own way in the world and kind of establishing this idea of not being afraid to be true to yourself and go against what is necessarily normal in the world.
If I had to choose an important woman for history, I'd probably choose Helen Keller, because even though she had a bunch of disabilities, she was still one of the most notable women in all of history.
I'd have to say Nina Simone, because she got really popular because of how low she sings and how deep she sings. And as a person who has a naturally low voice and who sings in a lower range, I find that very inspiring.
A woman of importance history to me is probably Julie Andrews. She is a great actress, produced many shows, one of my personal favorites, Anastasia. And she's a huge inspiration to many inspiring actors, especially women actors.
An important woman from history, off the top of my head, I would say Joan of Arc, because she literally led an entire army on her own. She's just very strong and very inspiring to me.
Thanks to all the students who shared, and happy Women's History Month. Senior Ike Bowen has been surrounded by music his whole life and now produces his own. Haley Pacheco takes a look into his current project.
At the age of 3, senior Ike Bowen started playing the drums. When he was 9, he started songwriting, and in 6th grade he picked up piano and guitar. Now, he has an album and an EP on the way.
Usually there's either a hook I get an idea for, or a drum beat, depending on just how I'm feeling. I'm a drummer primarily, that's my main instrument. So I just come up with grooves all the time because I'm always tapping and stuff and fidgeting. And so if I have a really cool one, I'll put it down in GarageBand on my phone, which is actually where I made the whole last album. But I'll start with that, and then I'll just build on top of it and build out just the chorus or just the verse or something, and build it out fully and then expand on it to the rest of the song.
Bowen says his music has an alternative pop sound, inspired by a variety of artists.
When I listen to an album that I absolutely love, it gets me really hyped to make music. So for instance, Notes on a Conditional Form by the 1975, Glorious Sound Prep by John Bellion, and even Fading West by Switchfoot. Those things, anytime I listen to them, they get me really hyped to make music, because I'm wow, I could make music this good eventually one day if I keep working on it. So it makes me really pumped to go and do it.
After making music on his own, Bowen found an opportunity with a friend from church, senior Benji Boone, to collaborate.
From that, that first time, I was man, we seemed to work really well together, and I felt like we had something that was really cool just from that first time where we were just collaborating, because other than that, we hadn't been creating before. We had just played together at church, leading worship and stuff.
After submitting a video portfolio, Bowen was accepted into Belmont University's songwriting program in December. Bowen says the program only accepted 15 out of approximately 500 applicants.
It's not professors that are accepting you. They send it off to executive songwriters and board members at Capitol Records and Sony and Warner Music and whatever, actual record executives, and then they decide if you're good enough to be in the industry.
Bowen and Boone are rooming together at Belmont in the fall. Boone says this will amplify creativity as collaborators.
Just being in the same room, we'll be able to not only just come up with stuff and be able to create it, whether it's 3 in the afternoon or 3 a.m. If inspiration sparks, then and we're in that creative mode, then we got to get it down as soon as possible so that we don't lose that. But I think having one another in the same room, basically living with each other, is gonna definitely spark creativity.
Bowen says he's looking forward to the opportunities at Belmont and the future.
What I want to do eventually after college is work as a writer for a label, or just somebody, think of John Bellion or Phineas, who is Billie Eilish's brother. People that just write and produce, and they put out their own music, but that's not their main thing. They're just somebody who works behind the scenes and helps make other people better, and just gets to do that stuff, And just ultimately, baseline, the goal is just to be able to make a living doing what I love.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Haley Pacheco.
Thanks, Haley. Look out for Bowen's EP, Blizzard Mixtape, coming out on the 17th on all streaming platforms. Last month, science teacher Gary Ryman was given the Tech Titan STEM Excellence Award. I got to take a look at what went on behind the scenes leading to this achievement. The Tech Titan STEM Excellence Award recognizes teachers who demonstrate creativity during these challenging times to inspire students to pursue STEM careers in the future. Science teacher Gary Ryman was honored for his Mars rover simulation using Ollie robots in his classroom.
This is Ollie. This is the little robot. It's kind of a toy, but not only can you kind of drive it like your standard little electronically controlled device, but you can also program it.
Ryman has his students program the Ollie and simulate collecting data, similar to the Mars rover.
The biggest feedback I get is pretty much unspoken. I have to yell at them at the end of class to pick everything up and go back to class so we can leave, because we generally work in the main hallway.
Ryman's award is broken down into 3 parts: 40% innovative online instruction, 40% being a champion for student needs, and 20% from student testimonials. Principal Amy Boughton nominated Ryman for this award after noticing his strong suit in all 3 areas.
It means the world to me that Mr. Ryman, has the focus of, what is going to hook students in to the different STEM areas, and that just goes to show you what a quality educator Mr. Ryman is and how lucky we are to have him here at Hebron High School.
Ryman found out through an email that he had been nominated for this award and was completely surprised.
When I recovered from the surprise, I sent a thank you email to Miss Boughton right off the bat, and immediately thought of this one particular lab I do that involves involves programming and problem solving and so forth, that kind of hits all the things that they're looking for in STEM and the things that I was wanting my students to get.
Boughton says Ryman's leadership in STEM has made him deserving of this award.
Because of the work that Mr. Ryman has done, not only this year, but every year at Hebron that he's been here, he's become a real leader in the STEM area, and so he was the perfect candidate to nominate for this Tech Titans Award.
Ryman has been at Hebron for 13 years and says he has always felt supported by administrators, but this award was an encouraging reminder that his hard work is paying off.
And again, kind of a validation that, that what I'm doing is important.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Ellery Lyles. Congratulations to Ryman for his achievement. As girls soccer wraps up its regular season, the team can reflect on the rocky start to the year and how it led to a strong finish. Camelia Palmer takes a look into the team's progress.
Fighting for the district's final playoff spot, girls soccer prepares to play against Louisville tomorrow. Head coach Bobby Vaughn says as much as he loves winning, their rocky start off to the season helped them improve more than they thought.
I tell them you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And so even our tie, we didn't spend a lot of time on it, but that's where you learn. You learn the most when you lose. I hate losing, but it helps us get better.
As with any season, team chemistry can affect the team's performance as a whole. Vaughn and team captain Sydney Oppich say fighting through the start of the season and getting to build relationships was a struggle at first.
We struggled a little bit at first, just trying to get our family together as a family, and so that was a lot of heart-to-heart talking and meeting and team building, and so we had to do a bunch of that this year. But now it's unbelievable. They're super close and rely on each other, which we're trying to do, and so now when you really care for somebody and not yourself, that makes the ultimate team.
In the beginning of the season, we didn't have those relationships in the beginning, but after that talk and after hanging out with each other and kind of getting to know each other more, we build those relationships, and they really do show on the field.
With constant adjustments within the team captain Parker Coe says making those adaptations amongst the teammates' skill set to better team chemistry is still something to improve on.
The hardest part would probably be getting everyone on the same page because we're all coming from different soccer backgrounds, and realizing some people have been taught this way, some people have been taught this way, but just realizing, okay, you're taught that way, but this is how this person plays, realizing their strengths along with their weaknesses.
Win or lose, Oppich and Vaughn say clinging to the skill of constantly learning and always putting in 100% on the field will be the biggest takeaway from this season.
The district that we play in, it's no joke. It's a really intense team, and we just learned that if we don't come out and we don't play hard against these teams, it's not just a walk in the park, we're gonna have to fight.
I asked them, I said, what do y'all want to be known for? And they go, toughness that you're going to get 80 minutes. If you play us, you may be more talented, but you're not going to outwork us. And so that's kind of how I want them to be even in life. We never get outworked. Somebody may be a little bit better, but we never lose a game. We just run out of time.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Camelia Palmer.
Thanks, Camelia. The girls' soccer game against Louisville will be at home at 7:30 tomorrow. In other sports news, tennis is playing in the Hearst Invite Tournament today. Baseball is hosting a tournament and will play 2 home games today and 2 tomorrow. And wrestling takes on Euless Trinity at home at 5:30 tomorrow. That's it for today's episode. I'm Ellery Lyles. Have any story suggestions or emails down below. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.